Hey YouTube, what's going on, and welcome back to Chironis Things. Today we're going to be talking about another flat flashlight here. So this is going to be from the brand Tunenge, as you can see. Here's the box that it comes in, very basic, just gives you basic specs on it. 180 hours max runtime, 2000 max lumens, USB-C recharging, UV, red beam, stuff like that. Your basic specs on the back there. Overall though, pretty simple box, okay? So back to the light here, let's go ahead and take a look at the dimensions on the side of the screen. And next up, let's see it in some size comparisons. So first off, what I have here is the YC8005 Pro. And you'll see there that the tunage is actually quite a bit long there. It's not huge, but compared to the YC, quite a bit longer. And then on width, almost exactly even, like so very close. The tunage might be just slightly wider, but you're not going to notice any difference there. And then on thickness, I would say it's almost exactly the same, since the YC rounds out a bit there on the bottom. So really it's basically the exact same size as this HD01 Pro, just a little bit longer. Now here's a smaller flat flashlight in the Trustfire Mini X3. You'll see there quite a bit longer. On width here, actually the Trustfire is just slightly wider, I think. Okay, and then on thickness, you'll see the Trustfire is even a little bit thicker, and this thing's really small. So there we have it right there. So not bad size at all in the tunage. It's just long, that's all. All right, so now that we took a look at the size, let's talk the battery and charging. Okay, so we do have a USB port right here on the side. Opens right there to USB-C recharging. You cannot remove the battery, just like 99% of all flat flashlights on the market. So that's just one of the things if you're going to get this style flashlight. It does come with a 1600 milliamp lithium ion battery. And that is supposed to be able to run you at 180 max hours runtime. So decent battery on this thing. And with that said, let's look at the overall design. This does have a magnet on the back. Magnet seems pretty decent, especially for the size of the flashlight. And overall, fairly slim. USB-C port right there on the side. Over here, we have a rubber button to control the laser. And then on the back, we have a clip. The clip is a one-way, as you can see. What's nice though is that it goes all the way to the top here. So when you have this in your pocket, there is basically going to be none of this sticking out. This is a very deep pocket carry. And you'll see here, almost hard to lift up, so it's got pretty good retention. So the clip is decent on this. They put it in a great position, so that's nice to see. You'll see that we do have double LEDs on the head. We have a diffuser on the side for LEDs on the side. And then we have kind of three buttons going on here for the user interface. So there's kind of a lot going on there. Now I will say in the top, we are going to be working with two SFT25R emitters, which are probably my favorite emitters to have in a flat flashlight. So super happy to see that. So now that we took a look at that, let's go ahead and talk user interface, because this is where things get a little bit weird, and it's probably really one of my only negative things to say about this is just that the user interface is weird. So we are in lockout mode right now. To escape lockout mode, I'm just going to hold down the laser. Okay. And now we're out of lockout mode. So now I can turn on, as you can see, my front flashlight. So you can control with the top right button, you can control, you see Y for yellow and W for white. You've got two completely different tints going on here. You've got a cool white and you've got a very warm white. Then on the bottom here is where you're going to control your side lights. But what's nice is you can hold down while you click and to control the brightness levels on that cold white. You can also hold down from off to get the moonlight. Now let me click back in there and turn the brightness up a bit here. Now I'm going to turn on the white light and turn that brightness up a bit. So you can see you can combine the lights, you can get them both super high, you can get one high, one low, you can leave one off and turn one on. So that's really nice that you have the ability to control all these things And the fact that they put 2 different color temperatures is pretty neat, I think, because then you can kind of control what color temperature you want to run, or both of them at the same time and run a very neutral tint. Now the side, I'm just going to click it to turn it on. So I turned it on to a red light there. I'm going to hold it to now cycle between different things here. So I've got white light, low, high. I've got yellow, or warm white, I should say. I've got blanking, or steady red, but it comes to blanking on the screen. Now I'm in a blanking white red. Then I've got UV. Okay, so UV is going to be off the side, not up the front. And then back to my cool white. We also have battery indicator right here, as you can see, almost full battery. All right, now getting back to this, on the side here, I can press to get my laser, turn on, and click to turn off. That's simple. Now here's what I don't like, is that when you turn this flashlight off, it's going to stay with the battery indicator on for, I forget the exact amount of time, but I want to say 5 or 10 minutes. And then it's going to go into an automatic lockout. I don't like automatic lockout. I want to be able to control if my light's in lockout mode or not. But the thing is, so if you want to turn this off, you now need to hold down the laser. So it's going to turn on for a moment and then go into lockout mode. Clicking, again, I'm in lockout mode now. So now to get out of lockout mode, I have to hold down that laser again. I just don't like the way the lockout mode. So I shouldn't say that the whole user interface is bad, because as you can see, it's pretty nice being able to control the 3 separate. I just don't like the lockout and how that works. So I wish that would be changed. I wish it was just like a little a standalone button or lever or something, or switch where I could just control the lockout and set it manually myself. I don't like having to hold one of the buttons to get in or out of lockout mode, and I don't like that it's automatic. So otherwise though, I'd say the user interface is decent outside of lockout mode. Now that we took a look at that, let's look at the performance numbers on the side of the screen. All right, and now let's take this outside and see what it could do with some beam shots. Now that we're back in, let's talk final thoughts on this Tunenge flat flashlight. Overall, I think it's pretty decent. Obviously, there's a lot of companies coming out with flat flashlights and clip flashlights right now. So the market's getting a little bit oversaturated with the flashlights in these 2 different styles. But I do think that this is a decent addition from a brand that doesn't have a ton of recognition. So if you want to check it out, of course, I'll put a link in the description. I do think it has some pretty neat features. You don't really see SFT25Rs on most flat flashlights, and you definitely don't see them with the ability to control just a standard cold white or a warm white, or to be able to set them both at the same time. Of course, you've got laser, UV, red lights, and all this. So it's got all the basic things that you'd probably want out of a flat flashlight, of course. Overall, decent quality. I do like this product. I just wish that the lockout would not go into automatic lockout, and I wish it didn't run off of holding down one of the buttons. But with that said, I think I like this quite a bit, and it's another good one to add to the collection. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great week.